I'm glad you are here while Mr. Gupta is overseas, but the recent release by Minister Zwane of the new mining charter has caused huge uncertainty in the markets, and in fact, without doubt has been condemned by organized business, organized labor, and civil society. There's been a near unanimous view that the charter will lead to more disinvestment and job distraction in the mining sector, making our current recession even worse. See, the rand has slumped, rating agencies have warned against further downgrades, and even the NUM has said they're considering taking the matter to court. Your own party have said that they did not see this version of the charter that was tabled and therefore request for an explanation from Minister Zwane. I would like to know, Mr. President, do you in fact, endorse this current version of the charter released by the Minister from Saxon World? Thank you.
The Honorable, the President.
On a point of order. On a point of order, Madam Speaker.
There is a point of order, Honorable President. Maybe you might take a seat briefly.
All right.
Honorable Hatebe.
The not so honorable leader of the opposition has referred to the Minister of Minerals as the Minister from Saxon World. I think that it is unparliamentary according to Rule 84. Thank you.
Called a minister from Saxon World. Would the Honorable, the leader of the opposition, please withdraw that?
I withdraw. I'd like to know if the President endorses the new charter tabled by Minister Zwane.
Okay. Honorable Hatebe, I'd like you to withdraw saying the Honorable, the Minister, the leader of the opposition is not honorable.
In fact, I withdraw.
Okay. The Honorable, the President.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker. Yes, I believe, firstly, the Minister gave the briefing and consultation, including the Cabinet. And what the Minister is doing has been approved by the Cabinet. And secondly, we have said we need to do something to change the economy, to ensure that we ignite the economy. We could not stay at the same place with the mining being there. There hasn't been a visible change in making the mine as a key sector in the economy of this country, to change and work differently to support the economy. So the mining has been there for many years. Whether there was a recession, it's not the first time that you have it, the technical one. It has been there as the economy has been going up and down. So there's nothing new, and we couldn't wait because we have said, what can we do to boost the economy? What the Minister has done is to say, how do we change the manner in which the ownership of the mines is, particularly opening it to those who have never participated. It cannot be an action that will actually bring the mining down. If you are working very clearly, you have a clear strategy, what you are doing. I believe this is going to bring about change in mining, including everything, the production or whatever, and the ownership. So I believe in what the Minister has done.
The Honorable Maimane.
Taking the National Prosecuting Authority 1,200 days to investigate. Now, when Mr. Nxasana did not do his job in the interest of transparency and accountability, when he didn't do his job, you dismissed him. I would like to know, is it acceptable for the National Prosecuting Authority to take 1,200 days to investigate a matter on the charges of corruption I laid against you in terms of your involvement in the Nkandla saga, if we're interested in accountability? Thank you very much.
The Honorable, the President.
Thank you, Madam Honorable Speaker, I think the honorable member is asking a wrong person the question. Firstly, he did not place the charges to me to investigate. What the NPA is doing, I don't know. What makes them to take so many days, how can I know? That's not my task.
So you don't know, you don't care. Can they take
I didn't say I don't care. I said I don't know because I'm not working there.
Order.
Man, you could have asked the person where you place the charge. Go and ask why this is taking too long. Why do you ask me? I'm not investigating. You made the charges. You should go to where you made the charges and say why these charges are taking long. You ask a wrong person. Absolutely. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Mr. Zuma, the term radical economic transformation and white monopoly capital are terms that were invented by Bell Pottinger, a PR firm in London. And in fact, they've been shown that these are terms designed to empower a very connected elite at the expense of building an economy that includes more South Africans, black South Africans, particularly people in rural communities. And Mr. President, unemployment in rural communities has in fact risen under your presidency. Now, instead of listening to London and Bell Pottinger, surely it would be to your benefit to listen to rather King Goodwill Zwelithini on what he proposes to empower rural citizens. In fact, he says that Goodwill Zwelithini says that to give South Africans secure title deeds for their own land is the best way to empower them. Would your government support this statement and put programs to assist, or listen to Bell Pottinger? And you assist.
The Honorable, the President.
Don't raise things that are controversial. You use the words that come from London in the whole speech that we've made now. English. You say other people should not use those words. Supporting the king, that's Sotho ring. How do you support the king? You speak English, you take it from England. These are the words. There's no difference. Radical economic, if it comes from London, what you are saying comes from London. Why do you use it? If other people must not use that language. My babo. Hey. Mr. Maimane. Mr. Maimane. We are dealing with the content, not the language. Radical economic transformation means you change the economy from the manner in which they are operating, deal with it in such a way that they are able to address the needs of the country for all South Africans. At the moment, they are not. You need to be radical to bring that change. Exactly. And this is in English, just like the English you are speaking. There's no harm about it. We speak English, unless you want me to say it in Zulu. No. I am in government. We have a policy to deal with these matters. We have a policy as the ANC about the land issue. And we are dealing with that. I don't need to support anyone. I need to deal with the policy that is going to make us achieve a particular point. If what the king of the Zulus is saying the land must come back, of course. Now don't feed me with your words. Don't feed me with your English words from London. Please. Don't. If that settles the problem, and that the land should come back. The issue of how it is going to be resolved down the line. At the moment, other people in South Africa have title deeds, others don't have. People, for an example, under the king, don't have a title deeds, the majority of them. No, musungungifunza amazwi mfana kithi. Musukungifunza. Ngimdala mangingaka ngiyona ingane ngifuna ukufunzwa. Musa ukungifunza amazwi. Ngithi isilo abantu abaphila ngaphansi kwesilo. Iningi labo alinama title deeds. Abanye abantu kodwa abangaphansi kwezwe lesilo banama title deeds. Bahlukaniswa yini labantu? Why bangafani? Yipi okuyona into ene advantage phakathi kwalezi zombili? Iking ke iphansi kwaleso simo ukuthi icabanga ukuthi akwenzekeni. Ayidukile mayisho njalo. Izama ukuthi sisombululo sini esizosithola esokwenza ukuthi abantu baphathe umhlaba ngendlela elinganayo. Ngingathini ungayisupport lonto ngoba umhlaba vela ukho nalo umhlaba nokhona mncane. Ngingathini ungayisupport? Usungizwile. Asiphume ngilandele engisikhuluma siphuma kaZulu. Mageba lengimshaya. Ngiyabonga.
The Honorable, the Leader of the Opposition.
It has become, in fact, the hallmark of your presidency to deny all involvement in hugely controversial and potentially corrupt matters, only for it to emerge much later that you had, in fact, been intimately involved. This occurred in the Nkandla scandal, where you were denied involvement from the beginning, only for it to be later found out that you were, in fact, involved. So, Mongameli, in the same way as in Nkandla, the truth about this nuclear deal will also emerge, whether it's via email or in any other form, it will come out. And so I would like you to tell South Africa and the people of this House on record, will you tell us, Mr. President, and I'd like for you to answer this question carefully. Have you
Order, honorable members.
or any member of your family received any payment from any person, organization, or government agency, both local and foreign or Russian, related to the nuclear procurement? And if so, what are exactly the details? Thanks.
The Honorable, the President.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Like the Honorable member's question when he went around, in the first instance, there was nothing that found me involved on the Nkandla matter. So that is not true. That I denied later, it was found that I was never. Even the finding that was made said it was an indirect benefit of the family and me. There was never, that's a wrong expression put on the record. Nothing was ever found that I was involved in anything, except that it was my house that was being built. That's all. That's the involvement. So I want to correct that, honorable member, because you in a sense plant things that are not true. Secondly, on your direct question, I know no transaction of anything that you counted involving the member of my family. I know nothing about it. Nothing. And I say it now, I will say it in future. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Mongameli, in fact, the question is incorrect. Truth be told, unemployment in South Africa has not remained steady. It's kept going up and up. The reality of it is that today we are at an all-time high as far as unemployment is concerned, and young people are the most affected by it. In truth, Mr. President, 65% of young South Africans of the ages between 15 to 24 are today unemployed. But worse of all, the only young people or young person who has benefited from your government is your own son. In fact, I want to quote for you what you said when you were describing Duduzane. You said, "Duduzane is my only son who deals with money. You must help him." Now,
Point of order.
on behalf of the other children in South Africa who are
Point
not
of order,
Duduzane.
Speaker.
There's a point of order.
Speaker, I want to.
Please
stand on
take
the-
your seat, Honorable President and Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
I'm rising
There's a
on.
point of order.
I'm rising on rule number 88, which is upon judges and certain other holders of public office. And it actually reads to the extent that it says that no member may reflect upon the competency or integrity of a judge, of a superior court, the holder of a public office in a state institution from such office is dependent upon a decision of this House. Because in the manner in which the leader of the opposition asks his questions, he actually reflects upon the integrity of the president, whose removal from office depends from all of you continue to make insinuations upon the office that he occupies. Thank you, Speaker.
Speaker.
I do, Honorable Waters, please let me finish with this point of order. I note the point.
Can you concede that today that your presidency has failed South Africa's youth?
The Honorable, the President.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Firstly, the unemployment has been growing all over the world. It's not South Africa only. It's not South Africa only because the economy has affected globally. Just to correct that fact. It's not, we have asked you a question, you can't keep on asking a question. Allow me to answer you. Yebo. We need to put that in correctly. Because you put the question as if it is only South Africa that has unemployment growing. Is a global problem that has been accepted by the global leaders as a time bomb to everybody else. It's not a South African problem only. It's a problem that faces the world for a variety of reasons, which we could debate when we have time outside of Parliament. Secondly, Duduzane, I've not heard, you let me know that he has ever benefited his business that is involved in from government, where Zuma has participated to say, give him something. Never, I've never done that. He is involved in business in his own accord. And there were circumstances why he had to go to business. He started by working and then later became a business person. And because he's a son of a president, there is no law that says he cannot get involved in business. And I deal with many young people who are successful. Many. If we have never met them, you are an unfortunate South African. We've just met Duduzane only. Very unfortunate leader. I'm sure even in your own party, there are many young people who are involved. There is a situation that has created the unemployment. It's not created by Duduzane becoming a business person. It's not. No, we are saying he's the only one who has succeeded, others have not. Not true. There are many factors. You know some of them, for an example. Young people who come out of tertiary institutions today, if they look for employment, do they have the experience? That then exclude them. It's not Duduzane. is the situation we have created. And it is complex on a number of factors that you could look at. So it's not true. It's not true. You can't single out a young person, one person, and victimize the person because he's a son of the president. It's not correct. It's not fair. He cannot, I've never assisted him on any issue. He's a businessman. Whoever he does business with, it is his own business. It is his own business. That cannot be me who must now answer how he got into business. Is it correct? Must a son of a president, even if he has opportunities, not take them because he's the son of a president in order to prove a point? I don't think that's correct. You are just being funny to a young man who has gone to school, capacitated himself. He is now in business. You may have a view who is in business with, which is a different matter. You can discuss that differently. But I think you are isolating a young man in South Africa simply because he's the son of a president. I don't think it's fair. It's not. He has the right to become a business in South Africa if he succeeds. Many other sons of mine are not business people, but they are my sons. I think it's unfair to this young man that you talk about every time. Very much unfair, because you can't produce evidence that I had anything to do with his business. You can't. We are just politicizing it, and I'm saying it's unfair to the young man. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Nkomo.
Honorable Speaker, I think the Honorable of
Who's
the opposition
calling?
party, this side, Honorable Speaker, I think...
Honorable Member,
Honorable
on what
Maimane,
point are you rising?
I'm rising on this point, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable
Honorable
Member,
Maimane, unomona.
Take your
That's
seat.
all. Jealous. Parliamentary.
Hlala phansi, Kabani.
Mr. President, you said here the last time, you said the ANC will rule until it... The tragedy is that you've lost 4 metros. I want to discuss this matter as a matter of fact. The truth of the matter is that more South Africans are losing work under your presidency. The other truth is the fact that our state is now being run by a shadow state and funds are being channeled out of our country. What is all actually true is the fact that unemployment is on a permanent increase. What is factually true is the fact that we've been relegated to junk status under your presidency. What is factually true is that, in fact, I have issued to the Speaker proof that you sought through emails, through documents, to assist in business deals. So I am not here to say the ANC, who have already, they themselves have come out and said you should step down. I'm not asking for an unfair majority.
Honorable Maimane, your time is expired.
No, I want to ask a question.
But you must do it in...
Here
Don't
it
tell a
is.
story.
What's your
Here it
question?
is. Does the president in fact believe he is the best person
Honourable
in the
member,
interest
your
of South
time has
Africa
expired.
to lead South Africa?
Honourable
Or
member,
should you
your
not step
time has
down
expired.
now?
Honorable Maimane, please in future stay within your allocated time. Don't add your own time. It becomes unfair on all other speakers here. Go ahead, Mr. President.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. It is absolutely true that the people of this country prefer the ANC to lead them up to this point. There's no doubt about it. No, don't ask the question when we have even taken no time to the answer. Otherwise, the junk state is not for the first time in South Africa, and there have been different reasons why it has. It has come and gone. Don't make it as if it is the first time when Zuma is the president, because there are specific issues. And there is no shadow government. We have a government that is appropriately as possible, within the capacity, given every other thing. So, don't mislead the country to think that people don't want the ANC government. They love it. They love it. If you don't love it, there's nothing strange. You are in opposition. If you love the ANC, I can tell you, they will take you out of that leadership of yours, of the DA, if you did not. Now, the issue of the one that we are mentioning now, of the metros, I can tell you, if we went to elections now, you lose them. Because, no, absolutely. Because people realize they've made. And I can tell you, next elections, you'll never have these metros. Never.
Deputy Speaker.
Never. And I can tell, we can tell you why these metros were sort of tied. Because you talk as if you won them with slight majority. Not at all. You had to talk and beg other parties to help you form the municipality. That tells you it could have been for anyone. You had to do many things, not to sleep negotiating to get the parties to be on your side. In fact, you are being threatened by EFF that they may run away. You might find yourself out of it, in actual fact, because it is a small little thing of cooperation with other parties. So don't talk as if you won this with overwhelming majority. You know anytime you can lose it. No, before 2019, we are encouraging us to cause a re-election in these places so that we can take our thing back. Absolutely.
Deputy Speaker.
In any way, I think, the final question is, I think the people of South Africa did not make a mistake by electing me as the president of this country. I'm fit and I'm doing it very well.
Deputy
Thank you very much.
Yes, honourable member, what are you raising on?
Yeah, Deputy Speaker, I just wanted to know if the president is prepared to accept the challenge. Let's go to elections earlier.
Honourable member, that's not a point of order. Thank you. Honourable Maimane.
Mr. President, social security is something that the DA will continue to fight for. And in this particular instance, that's why in the recent budget vote that took place here in Parliament, the DA proposed increasing the social grants by 4.5 billion rands. But that would be funded by cutting allocations to ministerial jets and VIP security for you and your cabinet, which I think is better for the people. So the question is, it's actually entirely affordable to do the right thing for our citizens, and the ANC voted against it. So I want to know, can you explain, at least to the people of South Africa, why the ANC chose VIP security instead of 4.5 billion rands for the people of this country who are most vulnerable?
Mr. President.
No, firstly, I'm sure, much as I was not in the room, in the house, and I'm sure that the ANC must have very good reasons to vote against you, because they are always logical, they always know, they are governing, they know how these matters are handled. Your proposal is likely to be not informed by what happens in government, because you don't know. The ANC knows very well why any provision that is in government is there. So they wouldn't vote with you, make almost like your propaganda kind of thing to say, no, when we are there, we will increase everything. So ANC could vote on logic, on understanding of what happens in government. So I'm sure that's why they voted against you. Because if your proposal in the eyes of the ANC was reasonable and informed by what happens in government, I'm sure they would have voted with you. Absolutely. And the reason is simple. They voted because they realize you are not informed by what is happening in government. That's the reason. Simple. Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you.